If you are a parent trying to raise successful Black children in a complicated world, this conversation is for you. Welcome to BACKtalk, the award winning podcast from Successful Black Parenting Magazine, where we go beyond headlines and dig into conversations that actually shape our families, our culture, and our future. Before we get started, hit the like button or the thumbs up button. It helps make people more aware that our show is out there and get us to be known from everyone that you know. I hope you heard about this, okay? Because what if a children's show from the 70s got something right that we're still trying to figure out today? Hang in there and I'll be right back.
This is BACKtalk by Successful Black Parenting Magazine, the most listened to podcast for parents by parents.
And we're back. I'm your host, Janice Robinson-Celeste. And if you're watching this live, you are officially part of this conversation. This show is powered by our growing community of Black parents, educators, caregivers, and advocates. And now we've taken that community to the next level with the Black Parenting Academy. It's a private space where you can connect, get answers, and access resources that you won't find anywhere else. And I'll drop that link later in the show, so stay with us. And I would like for you to jump in the comments and let us know what you think about the show. Make sure you go back and rate it. I'm always checking and seeing what you're saying so that we can respond. So settle in, share this stream if you believe conversations like this matter, and let's get into it. Because on this episode of BACKtalk, I'm speaking with Doug Momary and his wife, Emmy Jo. And if you were a kid in the 70s, you know that they are the stars of the show, The New Zoo Revue, with Freddy the Frog, Henrietta Hippo, Charlie the Owl. And if you don't know, well, okay, let me show you right now. La, 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 la. It's the New Zoo Revue, coming right at you, where three delightful animals have fun with what they do. We learn with our friend Doug, I'm his helper, Emmy Jo, with Freddy, Charlie, Henrietta. We have fun learning what we don't know. Doug and Emmy Jo, welcome to BACKtalk. Now, for parents who may be meeting you for the first time, I want you to tell them what was New Zoo Revue and what was your mission behind creating it.
Well, New Zoo Revue was a show for kids, and it premiered back in 1972. And I created it because I wanted to give kids what to do in a relationship. I didn't want to do 1, 2, 3 or ABC. I just wanted them to understand that you got to get along with your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, and your classmates at school. And so it was a show about relationships.
I agree with everything he said. It was just something that Doug creates all the time. Ever since I first met him, he's been creating things, and it just sort of came out of, I think, his happy childhood and my happy childhood. And we didn't have children of our own at the time, but that was really what birthed the show, I think.
Yeah. I just to show kids to be and tell them to be kind to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That is so important. And today you see a lot of unkindness, I guess we could say, that people not being kind to one another. And we definitely could use more shows like this today.
Well, thank you. I think so too. We've got 11 grandchildren, and we've watched our own children struggle with that, how to help them learn to be kind in a culture that often is not. And so it is a challenge, and I think it's important for children to be exposed to gentle things, gentleness, when they're very, very little. They say that the first 5 years is when a child's personality really is formed. So I'm glad our show has been helpful in that respect.
And we've seen that as we've been out on personal appearances, like when we did the San Diego Comic-Con was our first big kind of nostalgia convention. And gosh, our New Zoo kids were lined up to greet us. Thank you. And it was so gratifying to know that our show influenced them and changed their life in a lot of instances, right, Em?
Right, and we would never have known if it weren't for one of our daughters, our oldest daughter actually, and she's the one that started the Facebook page. We had no idea that people out there even remembered us, and it's been a very rewarding thing to find how many people were influenced in a positive way, and many of them were happy. They've got such good memories of sitting on their mama's lap and eating a bowl of cereal and watching the show before they went off to school. And we have other of our New Zoo kids that very sadly were in very unhappy situations. Mm-hmm. And we've met some of them and heard from them and how our show, they used to pretend that we were either their parents or their aunt and uncle, and that it gave them tools to be happy, functioning, well-functioning adults. And it's extremely rewarding to see how those little children, they're all grown up now. They've got children and some of them grandchildren of their own, and they're making wonderful contributions to the communities where they live in all different fields. Educators, policemen, firemen, you name it, we've got them. And we're proud of every single one of our New Zoo kids.
Well, I would like to say that, I'm a very empathetic person. And I know I've gotten it from watching PBS and watching shows like yours, everywhere from Mr. Rogers on down to you. And I told you before the show started, like one of my favorite characters was Freddy the Frog, but I also loved Henrietta Hippo. So those, I definitely remembered. I didn't even need to see your name. Like this has been a positive imagery in my brain that I would recall from time to time. And and I even looked you up on YouTube. And I was like, whatever happened to this show? It was such a cool show. And I'm into children's television. Like I produced a couple of shows on my own with puppets. So I really enjoy what you did.
Thank you.
I hope we get to meet you one day.
Yeah,
Me
in person.
Me too. That would be lovely.
If you ever come to Texas, we would love to take you to dinner.
Oh, I would love to come. And it has to be great, like running into the children that are now adults. Like I'm Gen X, right? I'm sure there's probably some boomers in there too. How is that for you?
To meet our kids?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a big family reunion. When we go to these Comic-Cons, and they come up and they tell their stories, and many of them we recognize their names because we've seen their comments on Facebook. Yeah. And it's just a lot of sometimes tears. We had, oh my goodness, there's one family that we met that their daughter who grew up on the show is now an oncologist, and actually she's been to several of the Comic-Cons that we've been at, and we've kind of watched her go through the medical school process, and now she's a doctor. She's treating people, and she actually, I guess it was at the New Jersey Comic-Con, brought me a gift from the ladies that she treats for breast cancer.
Oh my gosh.
It was wonderful, and we met, I'll just say this, we met a man in, I think he was, it might have been in Philadelphia, and he looked tough. He had big muscles and a kind of a tight shirt, lots of chains and
tattoos.
Tattoos up and down his arms. And he came over and he said, "I just want you to know I'm not in prison because of your show."
Wow.
And I just said, "Come here." We just had a hug.
Emily's right, and it's been really gratifying to me because I wrote all the songs for the show, and to know that a lot of the songs still are valid today. I mean, we're dealing with the same problems and situations that we were dealing with in the early 70s, and the songs I wrote still have meaning today to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of fun because on our YouTube channel I'm going back and relearning all the songs I wrote, mm-hmm. and doing like almost a song a week to revisit that.
It's fun. It's fun for Doug and it's fun for me. And I just might mention that some years ago, because we had no idea when we were doing the show, we didn't have any interaction really with very many of the children. And I don't know how many years ago it was that one of our New Zoo kids sent us an envelope filled with letters from little children that he had found in a I don't know, a
Garage sale.
garage sale. And they were all letters that had been sent to us from little children wanting to say hi, wanting an autograph or whatever. And we never knew.
Well, and the reason we didn't know is we were young kids, and I was told to sign on the dotted line, and so back then we didn't really, we weren't privileged with the producers to actually get involved in it. I would have answered every one of them. So would have Emily,
Yeah.
But the great thing is that this revival has really just been amazing to us, because we were out of the children's realm and out of the limelight for over 40 years.
Many years, completely. Doug had his production company that he was involved in, and I was doing the bookkeeping for that. I went back and got my master's in marriage and family counseling. Right, we have 3 little kids, and we just never really thought much about the show until our daughter walked in and said, "Mom and Dad, I think you need to come back, and I'm starting a Facebook page."
Well, and we've got 111,000 followers now.
Wow, that's more than me. So that's great. That's fantastic. No, but
I feel really blessed, believe me.
No. You got to understand. Yes, you definitely what was one of the keystone shows for us. Yeah. So you don't understand how important you are. You know what? And I know because it's you, and you're very modest. And I know I happen to have a daughter who's a supermodel. Like she's retired right now. But I was just talking to her about her accomplishments, and she's like, whatever, And you gotta understand, like she doesn't understand how important what she did, as a model, and her status. And I'm like, I'm starting to feel like you guys don't know. You don't know in the same way. Like you don't know how important you were. Like you guys were so important. And
how old is your daughter?
Well, I'm old now, so she's 38. I had to think I have 3 girls. They're age 40, 38, and 36. So I have to think about 5 grandchildren. So I'm happy to have them. I love being a grandma.
Your girls are about the same age as our kids. So you're a grandma too.
I am a grandma now. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so happy to have, I had my kids young, like in my 20s, but I'm so happy to be a grandma and to do it all over again. My whole background has always been early childhood education.
It's wonderful, isn't it? It's like you're so life-giving to have our grandchildren.
It is. It's a different feeling. Like, I loved having my children. They're my heart, my soul, give my life for them. But when the first grandchild came here, it was like, oh, it was a little different. But I love all of them so much. They're my life. I call them my heartbeats. They're my heartbeats for sure.
That's wonderful. That really is.
And I can tell
they grow up too fast.
Too fast. And I can see you guys beaming when you were talking about you're a grandma. The one thing I did not know when watching the show is, and I knew you guys had chemistry, but I did not know that. I don't know if you were married then, but I remember thinking you guys were just boyfriend and girlfriend, even as a young child. Now, you weren't married on the show, or were you married yet?
Well, we actually got married right before the pilot.
Right before we did the pilot.
We came back the day we were married in Texas, came back to California the day after our wedding.
No honeymoon.
No honeymoon. Every day's a honeymoon. And we've just Joanna, our oldest daughter, the one that started the Facebook page, was born the 4th season. I'm so sorry. Our dog.
No, it was the 4th season. The final season of the first day of the final season is when Joanna was born.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to rush from the hospital back to the set.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He was going back and forth. And so I did have to have a C-section. I wasn't planning on. I'm so sorry. Our dog just
Family show, family show. You can bring him on. I don't. He sounds big, so I'm sure he can't get in your lap.
He's part of the family.
Yeah.
He's the sweetest dog. He's
Oh,
a rescue dog. He's a husky.
oh, I love huskies. They talk a lot.
He just turned 10, and he was returned to the shelter twice.
Oh,
I don't know why, because he's probably the best dog we've ever had.
oh.
But he's very protective. And he's gentle, but he barks and he can see out that window. So I apologize. He's just a husky.
It's okay. Like I said, he's part of the family. He's part of the show. You can put him on your lap, but I know he's probably big. No worries. Now, Doug, I know you use music a lot as teaching tool in every episode. Why do you think songs are so effective in shaping children's behavior and memory? Because it sticks. You were talking about that a little bit earlier.
Well, I just feel like, for one thing, it's the universal language. And so when you sing about love and you have a melody that's catchy and that people can remember, that gets implanted in people's heart and people's soul, and they tend to remember that more than they would dialogue or anything else. And I think music has just been part of me for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just loved composing. I didn't want to compose down to the kids. If you notice, the music is pretty complicated, and in New Zoo, I mean, it's got tempo changes, and it's a musical comedy for kids. I mean, we would have dialogue in song with each other, and so it was my way of introducing kids to musical comedy, because that was been my dream to write for Broadway, and this was the closest I ever got, but I'll take it.
Well, it's a good one. I think some of the Broadway people wish they had their own show. Okay. I think you did it.
And Janice, he has a new show it's just the same gentle qualities. The music, he's got lots of music in it. Why don't you tell him?
Well, it's called Safari Town.
Oh, I love that.
And it's animated, and it's got characters that sing and dance, and 2 kids in it, and it's just fun. It's kind of, I'm going on the same themes that we did in New Zoo Revue, because they're evergreen. I mean, you still talk about kindness and telling the truth and greed, or so many subjects we covered. I'm going to cover those same subjects in this new show. So
we need that so bad. Yes. And where can we find this show?
Well, we're just it's in development right now. We're looking for sponsors and people to get behind it.
Will it be on television or will it be on YouTube, do you think?
Well, now it needs to be on every platform.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right.
And so it's going to be YouTube, on iPad, or whatever format will accept us and take it.
Okay, I'm gonna look for that. Safari Town. Can you give us like so you have 2 kids, and then is it taking place in a place like Africa for Safari?
It's taking place in Africa.
That's fantastic.
And it's got Barry the rhino. He's a rhinoceros. Yeah. And it's got Gigi the giraffe.
Oh, Gigi the giraffe.
And it's got Stanley the lion. And Sally, who's a little bird. So it's just fun. I'll have to send you. I've got some, almost a pilot episode done. I could send it to you.
I would love to see that. And Gigi's a special name in my heart. That's my little Maltese, and I just lost her last summer. So still, every time I hear the name Gigi, I'm like, Gigi. She was 16 years old. No worries. But that's my baby girl. It always will be, even in my heart. But no, that's fantastic. I love that. I'm glad you're doing something, because I was going to ask you if you were going to bring back the New Zoo Revue in some way or form or another, because we need that kindness so bad right now. Like, the kids are growing up and they don't understand empathy. They don't see it. And then they're playing video games and they're on their iPads all the time. And you're seeing these harsh games that their friends are playing and they want to play, even though you're trying to protect your child from these things.
Yes.
because of peer pressure, and there gets, oh, we were playing this game, and and are you going to play? We can connect with each other and we can play together. So all of that, and they're like, Mom, I want it. And then you're seeing all of this harshness about kill, and things killing them and zombies and blood. And I'm like, you're only 7. You're only 7 years old. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, the kids are growing up too fast now.
Yeah.
I mean, they were back then, and they are even worse now.
Our son has 5 boys, and they range in age from 5 up to 16, I guess, being a 16. And, it's hard for parents of girls, but the boys have a hard time too. And Doug actually has developed another show for that, to help. It's for older children, to help them learn how to safely navigate social media so that they don't get drawn into things that are dark and harmful to them.
Yeah, that show's called Knights of IT, Guardians of the Digital Realm. That's another show. That's another
that one too.
Yeah, that's another show I've created that's in development right now too.
Oh, fantastic! Make sure you keep me updated on these things.
But you were right about kids are isolated now, and that they're so isolated that they don't know how to react in reality to each other. And I think our show kind of bridged that gap where they were relating to the relationships that our characters had and that we had with the characters. But there really isn't a show like that out there right now. And so that's what I know Safari Town is going to fill that.
No, that's smart. I love that you're doing that. We also have a website channel that's called Secure Children's Network, which we present and protect children from IT, AI, those types of things. So
wonderful.
Yeah, I would love to feature that on there. That's fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Please keep me updated.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, what you're doing is absolutely wonderful. Now, for parents who are trying to raise kind, respectful children today, what are some of the simple things they can start doing right here at home right now?
Well, I feel that it's very important. I don't know. Doug and I are Christians, and I believe that children, from the time they're old enough to begin to understand, need to understand that God created them and has a purpose for their lives, and He is a good God, and they are good children because everything He created is good. And then just to find stories to read to them at bedtime that are gentle, and never lash out at your children in anger. Always take a minute to pray and take time to calm down and realize that these are little children that are in process. It's a process to grow up. And I think sometimes, it's very, there's nothing that can drive you right over the edge than children, when they're ornery, shall we say. And it's very important to not be too strict with children.
And I think really for parents, in my opinion, they need to listen to their kids.
Listen.
And listening is so important. Eye contact, proper touching, an arm around them, or hug, just so they know that you love them, you're listening to them, and that they're important, and what they're saying is important. Those are a couple things that I try to do with our grandkids. And just when you sit them down, and like, how was your day at school? What are your friends like? Do you have any problems that you want to talk about? I mean, an open dialogue in the home is so important because all of the things we're talking about starts in the home with the parents, and even if it's a single parent, I mean,
that's right.
It's harder, but that can be done.
Yeah, it sure can. But I remember Joanna's younger sister, one of her children, when she was very young, had a real hard time controlling her emotions. And she would throw temper tantrums right here in the house. And Lori was just wonderful. She would take her into the playroom, and she would say, I want you to stay in here, and I want you to just get it all out. And when you feel you are ready to come back and be with the rest of us, you can do that. But until you're ready, you stay back here. And it was amazing how that little girl was learned from that to control her emotion. I never heard Lori yell at her or say, you get in there until you can behave yourself with your grandparents. She just calmly pick her up, take her into the playroom and say, you stay here until you feel that you are back in control. And it helped her to learn that she could control how she reacted to other people.
Yeah.
And she's a teenager, and she's so gentle and kind, and she's a gymnastics coach and works with children herself.
But really, Janice, if you can get young kids and even teenagers past the rapids, I call them to navigate everything.
The teenage years.
You've done a great job, because it's hard, especially in the culture that we're facing today.
And I always remind parents that talk to me about things like this is to pray for your children. And when our kids were teenagers, we went to a Christian camp in California, and they had a chapel there. And I used to go to that chapel, and they had a book where you could write your prayers down. And I would be bawling my eyes out because we had 3 teenagers and I didn't know what to do. And I would just be writing my prayers. And thankfully, they all just turned out great. And just a couple of years ago, Lori went back to California and just visited that camp, just drove through, and she said, I want to go to the chapel. And she went into that chapel, and she found these books where over the years, people have left prayers. And she found one that had my prayers in it over several years.
Wow.
She made copies. I mean, she took pictures and sent them to me. And it would, to me, to read that was just a testament to God's faithfulness, that he got us through a difficult time. Because like Doug said, the teenage years it's just like they're going down the rapids, and you just want to keep them from crashing on the side.
Yes, I love that term, the rapids. I'm going to remember that when these kids get to their teenage years. The oldest is 11, so we're almost there. She's almost there.
But as you know, Janice, 11 is really 15 now.
Oh, my God.
Because they have so many adult influences on them, not good necessarily. Mm-hmm. And they want to be an adult when they're 7.
Right. And they're looking like adults. Now, I don't know what they're putting in this food, but at 11, I'm looking at her like, oh my gosh, how do I protect you?
And then you have to, wait till they drive.
No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I can't go through that again.
Doug and I, every night, every single night, we pray for the safety of our grandchildren that are out on the road driving.
Yeah.
That God will protect them. I don't know what it's like where you are, but where we are, the traffic is horrible, and there's a lot of maniacs on the road. And you have to be super, super careful, and especially new drivers. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep praying for them and that they stay safe. And I'm sure all of your fans will pray too, because we want to make sure your family's okay too. And so understand that. And I know I say the same kind of prayer every night too, that God protect my family. So let's hope that continues on for all of us.
I will say that Doug and I are not spring chickens anymore. We're getting up there.
I think we're pretty young.
We're young at heart. We're young at heart.
Okay.
But I will say that one thing I've learned, I hope I don't tear up, that I have learned in my life that God is faithful. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we don't know, we can't see when he's answering prayers, but he's working behind the scenes, and things will come out all right if we just continue to trust him and pray.
Well, if you notice, Janice, in the New Zoo Review, we had the Judeo-Christian ethics in the show, in the songs, in the scripts that I wrote. But we can't come out and just say that or say that this is a Christian show, because we wanted to appeal to everybody. Now, and those the ethics and honesty and all of the attributes that we want our kids to have, everybody needs to have those, no matter what religion, no matter where you come from. And so I wanted New Zoo to be universal in its reach, and I think that the outreach of it accomplished that, really, because we have fans from every different walk of life.
And they're fun to meet. There's always a common ground, and it's a wonderful thing. I like to meet people that are different from me.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is I got to do shows about, one of the shows was tolerance. One of the shows was greed. One of the shows was telling the truth. One of the, I did 196 different topics. That's how many episodes we did.
Wow, that's a lot. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of the show. I'm so happy we got to talk. We're running out of time, but I'm gonna pause.
Okay.
I'm gonna pause for you. So I am so happy that I got a chance to speak to you. And never in my wildest dreams did I even think I would interview. If you'd have told little Janice that I would be interviewing Doug and Emmy Jo, I would have been like, I would have lost my mind probably, but I would have been like, oh, how is that possible? And to know that I'm doing it today it just warms my heart. And I will remember this forever. So thank you for coming on the show.
Well, we're excited to be here, and thank you very much for inviting us.
Yes, it's really a thrill to be with you. And we just love talking about the show and looking to see the influence it had.
Oh, yes, me too. All right. Thank you, guys. Hey guys, I have Doug and Emmy Jo here from New Zoo Revue, and I want to just say welcome to BACKtalk.
Oh, thank you so much. We're excited about it.
Yes, we are thrilled to be here.
You can't be as excited as I am. I'm such a huge fan. I love Freddy Frog, Henrietta, Hippo, Charlie the Owl. I could still sing the song. Now, we just played the opening to the show, the intro, but I know the songs, and I'm so happy to have you here.
Well, when I wrote that song 50 years ago, I had no idea it would still be as popular as it is today.
The New Zoo Revue coming right.
Everybody knows it.
I know everybody. Yeah, it's famous. This is great.
Well, as a young composer, you don't think anybody's going to remember it.
It's here now. It's here now. Now, some people are probably watching like, what are you talking about? What is this? So for parents who might be meeting you for the first time, please tell them what the New Zoo Revue was and what was your mission behind creating it.
Well, New Zoo Revue was a show about relationships. How do you deal with your mom, dad, your sister, brother, or your classmates at school? Because we knew that Sesame Street was doing 1, 2, 3, ABC, and we didn't want to really go into that. We wanted to do a show about relationships, and I think that's basically what it is. It was about kindness, right?
Oh yes, we wanted children to embrace and understand how important it is, and just to be kind and let things kind of roll off your back and treat each other with respect and tenderness.
Yeah, and really treat each other the way you want to be treated.
That's exactly right.
I think that golden rule has gotten kind of misplaced or even forgotten in today's culture.
Yes, we need it. We need it again. I'm happy to see that you guys are out here talking about it. And I'm just glad that you're here on our show and letting people know who you are. And I'm happy to introduce you to our audience. So thank you for being here for that. Thank you so much. And to everyone watching the replay, thank you for being here and supporting BACKtalk, the award-winning podcast from successful Black Parenting Magazine. This show exists because our community shows up, engages, and elevates the conversation. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on every platform: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you scroll, we are there. Hit follow, hit like, turn on the notifications, share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. We'll be back with more conversations that matter, more voices that inspire, more truth that strengthens Black families everywhere. Until next time, I wish you all the best and much success. Take care. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to BACKtalk by Successful Black Parenting Magazine. We'll see you soon.